guest, one of our country's great storytellers, entertaining hundreds of thousands of people over the years. The Vinyl Cafe is touring now. Stuart McLean back in the BT studio, and very happy to see you.
Well, it's great to be here.
And it says, I asked you, because your shows, you have a show in Banff on Sunday,
yep.
And here in Calgary on Monday. I said, well, you're here nice and early, and you said, well, I got to have something to talk about.
Well, we're going to record the show. It's
Right.
going to be the first time we've recorded it in Calgary, so I'm going to wander around for the next couple of days, and I want to be able to open the show with an essay about the city and talk about Calgary.
Right, because how would you be a storyteller if you had nothing to tell?
Well, one of the things we try to do on the show on the Vinyl Cafe is to tell the story of the country slowly over the years, and we've recorded in we recorded just about right on the very east of Canada, on the very west, in Tofino recently. So we thought it was about time we recorded a show in Calgary and told the story of the city.
How many times have you crisscrossed this
country? Oh my goodness!
Have you counted?
No, it's 21 years now.
Right.
So we've done a lot, and every Christmas we go right across the country. So I don't know. I'm away from home. I can tell you, I don't sleep in my own bed about 150 nights a year. So we do about 100 shows a year now. So
that's a lot, even for
more than Bob Dylan.
Right. For like a 20-year-old musician, that's a lot of shows.
Yeah.
Are you
tired?
Yeah. Tired. Are you tired?
No.
It's exhausting.
Well, you know what? It's exhausting, but I get to be at a very special place, at the place of giving and receiving. You know, most writers have to spend their time wondering how their work is going. If they're a newspaper writer, they look at the letters to the editors. If they write books, they look at the bestseller list. But I get to be there at that very special moment where the words and the audience come together, and that's energizing and very fun.
You said just a minute ago, telling the story of the country. When you are able to take a step back, if you are, what is the story of our country?
Wow. It's one of the stories, I think, is the coming together. How, you know what I think the prime story is? That somebody somewhere decided that gave us maybe one of the hardest countries to make. They said, take this awful piece of geography,
right.
And we'll give you, on top of geography, a uninhabitable climate. And then we'll take two warring peoples, the French and the English, who fought for hundreds of years, and we'll put them in this huge swath of country. They'll put this in this horrible weather, and the First Nations, and make something of it. And I would put forward that we have come up with some of the most admirable solutions to the difficult problems of living together. How do we look after those who can't look after themselves? How do we look after those who might do harm to us? How do we look after those of us who are sick or who can't work anymore or too old? When you look around the world and compare it to how we do to how others do, I would say we do very, very well. And so I think that is maybe one of the stories of the country that we should remind ourselves of. And it is through our political structures that we do that. And people are very quick to condemn the politics and our politicians, but I would put forward that they have, on behalf of us, either led us or been pushed by us to very fantastic solutions, and I think we should be very proud of that.
And I think one of the activities that galvanizes us, back in the old days, it was huddling around the radio and listening to our favorite radio program.
Well, it's because you know what? It's because we have to huddle, and it's because we have to come together because of the weather, perhaps, that we do come together.
And it's why we enjoy you so, and your art of storytelling. Do you see anybody kind of up and coming who's able to be a storyteller?
I try not to.
Well, no, you will never be replaced. But is it a lost art? Is it a dying art?
No. Like you say, we've been huddling around the fire ever since we knew fire, telling stories. Tell me a story is an impulse that people have, the natural impulse. So I think we've always loved stories. We tell our stories differently now. When they started around the fire, and then around from newspapers, around the village well, then radio, now television, and now on the web. But it's still in theaters, in movie theaters and cinemas. It's still, there's lots of different ways and new ways to tell stories, but storytelling won't go away.
And music always a big part of your show.
Ruben in the Dark
Ruben in the Dark
is with us on Monday night. Yeah.
So I love how inclusive you are. And have you actually been at the forefront? Have you discovered anybody?
Musical act?
Yeah, you must have.
Discovered. I think Matt Anderson, who's a fantastic blues singer, was made, we dragged him across the country before he had been dragged before. Owen Pallett, who was up for an Oscar last year, and for his work in a movie with some of the people from Montreal
with one of the Arcade Fire guys.
Yeah. Who else? Those are the two big ones, I think. But we've had so many fantastic artists that people, haven't heard before, because we made it a mission of our show to kind of just play Canadian acts, or just have Canadian acts, and for the most part, Canadian acts that people don't know, that people maybe outside of, people in the Maritimes or people on the other coast might not know or have seen Reuben in the Dark yet. So we like to shine the light on those who we think deserve to have the light shone upon them.
Well, it's going to be a fantastic evening. Check out Vinyl Cafe in concert with Reuben in the Dark at the Harvey Theatre in Banff Centre Sunday at 7, and then in the Arts Commons at the Jack Singer. This is formerly known as the Epcot Center, Epcor Center. Excuse me, wrong country.
Jack Singer.
At the Jack Singer, Monday at 7:30. Always a pleasure to have you in studio. Thank you so much. And you'll probably see Stuart wandering around the city looking for stories.
If you see me, stop me and tell me what I should say.
And lots of